So I was lucky enough to get hold of some Australian mangoes. Australian mangoes are the sweetest that you can find in New Zealand. What's actually quite funny is we've been trying to do this intro for the last 10 minutes, and we had the dogs, and now we've got the guy with the chainsaw next door now, and it would be complete silence. And as soon as we press record, that's when the guy goes with the electric chainsaw. So anyway, moving on, we are going to make a spicy sweet mango and sultana relish. Here he goes again. Let's go. Get on and peel these mangoes. All right. The stone is going to be, the most of the flesh is on this two sides. The stone is pointed, you'll see. So I cut down into one side. Do the same on the other side. This will be about the thickness of the stone. You can see the stone is just here. What we're going to do now is, with a small knife, we're going to remove the flesh, I'll chop on the board, around the stone. Because we're going to be dicing up this pulp anyway. And that's the mango stone. See, it's flatter on two sides. So you've got this beautiful mango flesh now. My call is chop that up and freeze it and use it for smoothies. But for the relish, we're just going to roughly chop it. Some of this pulp's going to cook down and puree, and some of it's going to stay as chunks. So just roughly chop it. Really up to you. As you can see now, a lot of differences in size. Some big, some large, some big, some small. Right, so we're just going to chop up the red onions. We've got some red onion going in here. Red onion, chilli, ginger, garlic, some spring onion. We just chop it up now and just get it ready. So the onions don't need to be too fine. The garlic's just sliced, and these can be all mixed together because we're going to put them in the pan at the same time. Next, chilli. And if you don't like it's too spicy, you can remove the seeds. Otherwise, I'm just going to slice the chilli first, and then afterwards I'm going to go over there with a knife. It's going to be just like roughly chopped. And these are not hot chilies. Okay. The ginger, I'm just going to grate it. And last thing we got is spring onion. The spring onion we're just going to slice. Okay, so first things first, let's melt some butter. We're just going to fry over a low heat at the beginning. So I'm just going to go in there with some fennel seed and some cumin seed. Then we're going to go in there with some mustard seeds. Then you've got ajwain seeds, and these are what's known as karam seed. So they are bitter and pungent, really nice in this sort of thing. Good in curries as well. Then we're going to go in there with some juniper berries, and then some star anise and some peppercorns. So then what we're going to do with those is we're just going to fry those and toast them off. After the seeds, we're now going to go in there with the powders. So the first one we're going to go in there with is some cumin powder. Then we're going to go with a little bit of mixed spice. And I'm just going to turn that temperature down a bit. Then we're going to go in there with a little bit of cinnamon. If you've got a whole cinnamon, it's better. A bit of cinnamon powder. We're going to go in there with some ground coriander seeds. And then we're going to go in there with some curry powder. So just a teaspoon, or that was about 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of curry powder. Boy, you can really smell that now. Okay, and now we're going to go in there with all these chopped ingredients from earlier. So we're going to go in there with the onions and the chilli and the garlic. Okay, so now we're going to increase the heat and we're going to start to season. So we season first with some ground pepper and salt. So I've just added a bit more butter there. We just need enough butter just to fry off those vegetables. Good thing is when you get the recipe, it's a full recipe. Oh, spice. I'm making it up as I go along and writing down the recipe as I prepare. Not many chefs will follow a recipe unless it's a cake or something, or pastry. When it comes to savoury, a lot of the time they make up as they go along. And now we're going to add the mangoes. Oh, so aromatic. So that mango is going to go in there now, all at once. And then we're going to season those with a little bit of salt. Okay, so now we're going to go in there with some brown sugar and some vinegar. I'm going to go in there with some water. And now we go in there with the vinegar. Vinegar! So next we're going to give that a little stir through. And now we're going to bring this one up to a simmer, cover it with a lid, and we're going to cook it for 1 hour on a low temperature. So it's up to a simmer now. We're just going to now cover that one with a lid, and we're going to cook that on a low temperature. Once the chutney's been cooking for 10 minutes, you're just going to go in there with 70 grams of raisins. No need to stir them through. They're just going to disintegrate into the relish and carry on cooking. So we cook for 1 hour. And so after 1.5 hours of cooking, I had to correct myself because I didn't think an hour was enough. You'll see that the pulp, or some of it, is cooked down. It just smells so nice. Okay, so now we're just going to go and fill up our jars. Let's have another taste test. Nice. Really good. Pungent. That's the spiced mango chutney. Now, if actually, truth be told, these mangoes were delivered for free to my door this week. So fabulous. So we were left with 10. We've turned this one into the spiced chutney. I'll see you in the next video.